Hey everybody, welcome to episode 4 of Bookish Amigas, and we are going to be discussing the book that we reviewed this week, which is Vox, a novel by Christina Dalcher. And these ladies have some questions that we're going to be going over today. All right, I'll let you start it off.
All right, let's get right into it. So the Vox had a movement called the Pure movement, and it kind of like rely on a lot of like historical manipulation and extremist ideology, not too far from what is happening right now. Um, were there any ideas or arguments made by the movement that seem frighteningly plausible in our current society?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like all the controls of
All
women.
of it,
Like entirely
all
like
of it.
I mean they're trying to control what we do with our bodies. In some states they are controlling what you can do with your bodies. I think that's probably what the scariest part of the book is. Um and it's like the Handmaid's Tale too. I think it got I don't know if it was influenced. I think it was influenced by, if I remember correctly. Um, but yeah, I think the most terrifying part of it all is that everything happens so quickly. Um, things are not currently happening as quickly, but they're kind of like getting there, if that makes sense, right?
Oh,
Yeah, like you could
absolutely.
see the little moments of like, the laws being changed or the education, the woke movement, all those little acts and oh, you can't say this. And that's where it starts small. And then it starts to kind of tumbleweed into something even worse. Like we just lost the abortion thing and leave it up to the states, and the states like, nope, and let's gun them down if they go to another state. Like it's plausible. Um,
Well, I
and that's
definitely saw an article today about a Texas woman getting an abortion, and they used 83,000 flock cameras in the state to like track her movements throughout the state. It was crazy.
Ah,
that's
that's crazy.
So
Uh,
it's trying to become a police state right now, but I don't want to get political. Let's because then I'll just keep freaking going. But this book definitely is very reminiscent of The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. It definitely has points to it where women are losing their autonomy and becoming property of their spouses. Um, in this book. I know that there's a small movement trying to get the 19th Amendment appealed in real life for us. So let's to see it mirrored in this book, who that's already a couple of years old, is kind of crazy. Um, like these weren't supposed to be blueprints. Thank God it's
right.
still fiction.
For now, because a lot of things are like, the Hunger Games, right? The whole what is it that
The
he called it? The
Patriot
two,
game, the Patriot
yes,
game.
that shit. So yeah, I almost kind of want um these authors to stop writing these books because they're like
because
giving
it's
blueprints
given I
basically. Yeah, it's
yeah,
too much.
and
Um,
words for them to use were like, what was it that
a
the
hundred
sun,
words.
um, like no, not the 100 words, were like the education system was giving them a like almost word for word, like, hey, this is how you explain it if you see this. Um, oh, and this is how to then tell on people if they're doing something wrong. Like you're giving these kids like these the
Hmm.
ways of how to actually be and how to even get people like arrested and put away and killed, which is
Which we are seeing
awful.
now, which we
Yeah.
are actively seeing now. Not just with like women and what women are doing and like you mentioned Erica, but just like in general, obviously, right, with like immigration and all that stuff. It's going on now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So entirely plausible. Um, entirely plausible.
So in this book, we see that our protagonist is an intelligent person. She's called college educated. She's a neuroscientist, and when all of this goes down, um, to the oppression of women being limited to 100 words a day. You would think, how could you limit someone from speaking so much? They are instituting um, the
Like those
the
bracelets, the
forcible
bracelets.
wearing of bracelets, and the
Yeah.
bracelet is voice coded to the person, where or to the woman, I would say, because it's only the females um, that have to be underneath this particular rule. So they're voice coded to these bracelets that limit them to the 100 words a day with a counter on it, and it definitely says it'll shock them or cause them pain, and cause them pain when they go over that limit. So we're seeing all of this in the book. We're seeing that the protagonist wants to fight back. Excuse me. They're also limiting um, sign language, so women can't even use sign language to communicate with each other. It's very, it's very dystopian. It's very crazy. The book itself, I'll be honest, even throughout the 45, 65, 70% throughout the book, I was livid, very livid because of just what's going on in society right now. And having read The Handmaid's Tale, having read The Testaments, having read other type of dystopian books, um, I thought this one was pretty decent. It's pretty decent.
Yeah.
I always kind of pictured dystopian books more like just in the future, like when we've turned everything to shit, and like how, like the political people in like the people in power implements like stringent rules on the society because one, they're in power, and there's like limited resources, or they're just like money hungry and trying to get them for themselves, like the Hunger Games. But this was like not in the future when we've turned everything to shit. This is like now.
Hmm. Yep. And everyone's already got their digital watches. It's not very much farther along for us to wear
Oh
something
my
that's going to
god.
constantly track our movements. And I'm like, it's
Yeah,
already a walking GPS.
that's true.
It's
Yeah.
already listening to us because all you have to do is talk to it, and it will definitely, it responds. You can do searches on it. The tech is there
Yeah,
almost.
we're
Yeah.
so integrated already,
Yeah.
so it's not far fetched of
Mhm. All right.
happening. But
Oh,
aside from that, there were a few moments within this book where they added um, her personal life situation with the extramarital affairs. Um, well, affair.
fair. Things just fun.
I mean, like there were multiple instances, but it was one deal.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if that was actually needed to kind of wrap up the story or anything like that, but yeah, that was the only gripe I have with that. I'm like, we didn't really need that.
At all. I really felt like that whole plot point was like unnecessary. Um, I actually did not like the way it was wrapped up, and I think it's because of the plot point. Because even like it, because it kind of wraps up where like it's only a year that they're living like this in this kind of
Mhm.
state, which a year's a long time. Like we went through a pandemic where we were basically indoors for like almost a year before we were like finally trickling out. A year is a long time, I get that. But the ending just felt rushed to me.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Um, and I don't like that her like husband died, because I'm like, so
Yeah,
you're
I
just
had
kind of
to go
like
back and reread it. I'm like,
you're just like
wait, did
gifting
that
her
just
this
happen?
ending. And also she didn't need to move by the end anymore.
Mhm.
Like the the guy, I even like his actions like just didn't make sense to me. I didn't I was, for as angry as most of the book made me, I was okay with most of the beginning part of the book until all of that started to unravel with like the guy that she had the affair with and him still being around, and then the first I'm like, no, I feel like none of that was really necessary to make it a good book. Um, so I was kind of upset with the end. Yeah, I was not a fan.
It wasn't a clean ending, I'll be honest. Um, the how fast everything happens, because all the action happened like in the last, what, 15% of the book,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the rest of it was just build up. So to go into the spoilers, like, obviously something terrible happens to the president's brother, right? And
yeah,
he needs his
Who's the
brother,
smart one?
and she and her team, prior to the sequestration of all of these women and the limiting of their speech, were all working on some sort of neurological virus to help humans have speech when they're in dementia and when their brains are going through aphasia, right?
yeah. I think it's more of aphasia. It's not dementia. I think
Right.
it was more the aphasia, like, cause that, and it was something that like my mom ended up. Yeah, but like,
Hmm.
Hmm.
so yeah, so they had already made it. They had discovered what to do, but then all this happened.
Hmm.
But then it's, you know, obviously the government being the government takes this great thing that she's made, and she says it. She's like, I hope this is not used in like a negative way. And then spoiler alert, it
Yeah.
is. Um,
Yeah.
it was all a lie just to get it so that they can kind of reverse engineer it and make it so that women could speak at all, and probably not just women. At some point, it was going to get like, projected to other groups that they didn't want um, to have voices. So that was, even that was just like,
Right.
because they had all these other groups working on, like, they were like, give us this, and they had group like two other groups to like basically reverse engineer it, but then they couldn't do it, and you're just like,
Was that
Because we needed the
necessary?
dream team, obviously, and she was part of it. There wouldn't be a book if she
it,
wasn't part of the dream team.
yeah, I did understand why, though, she was like, why when she was gonna leave, when she was, if there was at one point where she was, her, the affair guy was gonna get her out, and it's like, again, spoiler, she's pregnant by the other dude, and she's worried that this baby, because she's already seen her 5 year old like having to wear this bracelet, and
Hmm.
she's worried about, when is this baby now going to have this bracelet if we don't do something about it. But then, like I said, like, it just didn't, like, they wrapped it up like they got rid of the people in power, and they were able to do that, and it's a point like, you don't need to leave anymore.
Hmm.
um yeah, her husband
She
should have
just,
still been around, just have a blended
yeah.
family, like, whatever. I was just, even the description of the husband was just like, he basically was like, this guy's not the guy to do anything, right? He's not the guy that's gonna go out there and speak up and do anything. And his actions, like, by her admission of how she knew him for years before they got married, and by his actions in the book, like, you don't expect him to be at the guy at the end that was like, oh yeah, I'm like with the resistance. Like, yeah, they were just, the idea I think was a good idea. Um, I just think that the ending was not great.
Hmm.
Yeah. It kind of missed the mark for me.
Hmm. Yeah, I like the book. I know I like the book because of how pissed off I was throughout the book. But yes, that last like 15% of that book definitely had me, because of course I listened to it in audiobook,
Yeah.
but it had me where, like, there were plot holes after plot holes. There were people that went missing that suddenly popped up again at the end of the book, and there was there was a lot of things at the end. So I would say I would give this one like a 3.5, maybe like a
I'm a
3.
3. I'm a 3.
Maybe like a 3. I split the difference. It had the possibility of being much better,
Hmm.
um, but just kind of missed the mark at the way that it ended, which is kind of sad. Yeah, also the fucking son, fucking
Oh,
ass. Like, what? But that actually, so the son's actions. So the son obviously does something he's not supposed to do another teenager. They're teenagers, right? Like, with
Yeah,
a
the
family
neighbor
or
is like,
something,
his
right?
neighbor.
Like, it just happened. Okay, whatever. It always just happens, right?
And
Just slipped in.
then he turned her in.
That was what killed me. What killed me was that he turned her in. she gets taken away, right? Because now she's gonna get shamed. He knows what the
What
consequences, not
happened?
just of what happened, that he
Mhm.
was an equal partner in. It's not like she raped him. Like he was an active member of this, or at least that's not how it's described. He turns her in. He knows what's gonna happen. That she's gonna get blasted on TV. They're gonna humiliate the hell out of her. And then he doesn't want to go to school the next day because he doesn't want to see it. But like you turned her in, knowing that this was the consequence,
Yep.
and that's like
I don't remember, do they save her in the end? I don't remember.
no,
No, no.
no. I think
The
the rage there, because it's one of those like
It's one of those plot
it's
holes.
one of it's not
mhm.
just that it's one of those plot holes, but it's one of those it it was very reminiscent of things that are happening now and that have happened since the start of this presidency. That people that voted and then was like, oh my god, I didn't think it was gonna happen to me. I didn't think I was gonna get deported. Like the fuck?
Yeah,
Did you think was gonna happen? Like you literally knew it was gonna. It was the same thing. That's what that reminded me, and that's what that really pissed me off because it's like you've been part of it. You've been indoctrinated with this, and then you still sold her out, like knowing that the crime didn't fit the punishment. The mom also kind of pissed me off though, because I think at this point she was able. She had the thing up so she could speak more,
yeah,
Mhm.
and I think that that's something that she could have said, even if she didn't. Like she already knows her son's kind of a little bit like on all the way the right side, and I feel like that's something she could have mentioned, like, because she tiptoes around it. I think mostly not to get herself in trouble, because she thinks it's a situation where she's gonna get herself in trouble.
Mhm.
That, right? Because that was also the thing. Like, she thought it was they were coming for her, but it's also a thing where she could be like, do you think that knowing what you know, whatever it is that you're gonna say, do you think the crime, the punishment fits the action?
Yeah.
Like trying to get to like, do you know what's gonna happen based on whatever it is that you're gonna talk about, that you're wondering if you should say, do you think that that fits, do you think that that's fair, like not knowing
yeah.
what what it was that his secret was. So that all pissed me off, just a lot of it, like just how far gone he already was. Like you could have pulled him from the school, you could have dropped him from the class, like before all of this happened, like
Yeah.
he was in that like crazy religious class. I'm like, you also as a parent could have been, I know working parents and they don't have time and you can't examine everything with an inch, but it's a book, so you could have.
It's not like she was doing much at home. Anyway,
But yeah, anyways,
All right. So thank you for
I'm
lowering my
actually
score. I'll go to it like a 2.5, 3 as well. Thanks. Thanks.
yeah, but
2.75.
I
I
I put it
appreciate
down
you.
to the three because I'm like not even the 3.25, just the three. It was yeah.
Hmm.
the storyline was there. It's just
There needed to be a lot more plot holes filled in. Yeah. Yeah. There was a lot of little
Yeah.
things. All right, fine. Thanks for just helping me change my score. All right, guys. Well, I guess thanks so much, and that was us going over box. Bye.